Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a bill that could impact health care for transgender youth continues to cause controversy. And a special event is held to honor and award people who work with art forms of all kinds.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It is 5:34 on your Monday, and it's a cold start to our Monday. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at those temperatures. And Brandon, goodness, you're going to take you a big heavy coat this morning.
It's chilly out there. A lot of teens as you head out the door this morning. But again, spring is coming. 5:24 this afternoon. We are in our final hours of winter, so one more cold morning as we start today. Let's take a look. I-75 at Corbin this morning, 17 balmy degrees out there. Some light traffic as we head through the first part of your day. There are more teens than 20s, I can tell you that. Cold spot Clintwood at 11. Warm spot 25 and Moorhead. Heat wave up there this morning. Across the state and region, 28 Paducah, 28 Louisville, 23 across the river in Cincinnati, 23 across the border in Nashville, 24 in Knoxville, 18 in Tri-Cities, Ashland and Hazard, along with Somerset. Day planner for today, lots of sunshine. That's going to take us up close to 50 degrees, and we'll see again a fairly nice start to the new work and school week and the first hours of spring coming this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. This past weekend marked 1 year since 4 Marines were killed in a NATO training exercise in Norway. One of them was Eastern Kentucky native Jacob Moore of Catlettsburg. The 24-year-old from Boyd County enlisted in the Marines in 2018 and was stationed in North Carolina. He was honored with a memorial highway, and his family is working on a tribute at the Veterans Cemetery where he was laid to rest. On Sunday, a memorial run was also held at Ashland Central Park to remember his life and his service. An Eastern Kentucky community is mourning the loss of a former high school basketball standout. Chester Rose of Hazard High School died Saturday morning at his home in Richmond. He was 75 years old. At Hazard High School, Rose advanced to the boys' Sweet 16 3 times, 1964, 1965, and 1966. Following high school, he played 2 seasons at Eastern Kentucky University. Funeral arrangements have not been released. A settlement has been reached in the death of a Tennessee student after he died just hours after wrestling practice. The Louisville, Tennessee native Grant Bryce, the 20-year-old, was a student athlete at the University of the Cumberlands. The lawsuit says Bryce died from a heat stroke after he begged for water and was refused during the wrestling team's first training day of the season. The $14 million settlement includes an agreement for the university to participate in a heat illness training program and to help raise awareness for heat-related injuries. Well, over in Wayne County, a man is facing drug and gun charges after a traffic stop. Police pulled a car over Sunday morning just off of Kentucky 1275 North in the Cumberland Crossing area. During an investigation, police say the driver had an expired driver's license and could not show valid proof of insurance. Well, during the search, police say they found more than 4 grams of meth, marijuana, digital scales, 2 guns, and cash. The driver was identified as 64-year-old Ronnie Weddle. He was arrested and taken to the Wayne County Detention Center where he faces a list of charges. A collapsed suspension bridge on Sheltowee Trace at Red River Gorge was raised after falling during high winds earlier this month. Well, crews spent 2 days raising it out of the water. A tweet from the Daniel Boone National Forest said it is expected to be several months before the bridge is safe for use again. Senate Bill 150 began as an act on parents' rights and protecting teachers who misgender students. Then some changes were made to include the language of House Bill 470 banning gender-affirming care. The new version of the bill passed the General Assembly last week. Supporters say the bill is focused on empowering parents and protecting kids, but others say it will do the opposite.
Researchers Bailey and Blanchard note that there is no persuasive evidence that gender transition reduces gender dysphoric children's likelihood of killing themselves.
It's not just the impact of this bill in the schools and on children, but it's going to be at that societal level of people wondering, is it safe to talk to my neighbors? Is it safe to talk to my coworkers about what's going on?
Governor Andy Beshear is expected to veto the bill, but lawmakers could override that action at the end of the month. The 2023 Appalachia Arts and Entertainment Awards was hosted Saturday evening in Floyd County. Our Jordan Mullins has more from the event and how it honored and recognized artists of all kinds.
The Mountain Arts Center hosted the third annual Appalachian Arts and Entertainment Awards on Saturday afternoon, celebrating the arts, artists, educators, and everything in between.
Arts and culture and music, and it's all that is such entrenched in everybody in Appalachia. And so now we have the time to show that off, and we really want to showcase that.
After COVID-19 forced the first year of the Appies into going virtual, the awards ceremony has grown.
To have a show like this to really showcase everyone and their talent, how smart they are, how forward-thinking everyone is in this region. If people don't know, they'll know it by the end of today. So this is huge, and I feel like this should be more widespread than it is, but we're working on it. It's only the third year, but it's going to get bigger and better each and every year.
With 53 different categories, the ceremony celebrates the people that get us through hard times.
The arts get us through everything, not just music, digital, music, paintings, people in general get us through all these hard times. So to be celebrated at all with all these different people here that are all artists in their own way, all teachers, all influential people is phenomenal.
And the art that connects us all.
I think people connect a lot more through music and art, so it's really cool that we're acknowledging people that bring that into the world and that can make that possible.
Recognizing Appalachian artisans and the joy they bring to so many. In Prestonsburg, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
2023 Appy co-host and MC J.C. Phelps says from tattoo artists and jewelry makers to musicians and painters, everyone was able to share the spotlight. Well, just had this morning, the cast of Ted Lasso and the Bidens prepare to come together for a conversation about mental health and how it is important to address any issues you may have.
While we start the first days of the week and spring dry, that trend will not last. I'll track our next best chances for rain in about 3 minutes.